Hi, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be doing a channeled love letter from your person. There are 3 groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Shungite, along with this letter. Group 2 is the blue lace agate, along with this letter. And group 3 is the pink opal, along with this letter. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection, and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you would like to jump ahead, which I do recommend using so that you can skip over me shuffling cards in between groups to clear the energy of the group I've just read for and tap into the energy of the group I'm about to read for. So again, I'll give you a minute. Please use the timestamps and we'll get into your reading. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Shungite, along with this letter, which I will read in just a minute. I'm going to start with some tarot to get a feel for kind of what's going on between you and this person, the current energies, some zodiac signs, some clues about who they are to you. Okay, we've got the 4 of Pentacles, which is Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So this can really talk about a connection where communication is kind of essentially blocked off, limited, strained communication between the two of you. This can be something where there's also a lot of innuendos involved, a lot that's being held back on if this is someone you are in communication with, where what they're giving you is, it comes from a very guarded place. It's kind of just this sort of suggestion of a lot more that kind of lies beneath the surface. Almost this idea of a great treasury of love that they have for you, but that they're holding back on. This person could really be sort of waging this battle currently between the head and the heart as well. Maybe searching for the words to say to either reinstigate communication, come out of this blocked kind of state with you, or to in some way express a truth that they have been withholding or that has really been germinating within them, and kind of in this process of trying to figure out how to take this connection to the next level, how to really expand upon what you've built together. This feels like somebody who might just in their very nature be a very kind of practical person, a very grounded person, somebody who is very evidence-based, somebody who doesn't really want to allow their feelings to kind of get the better of them, somebody who in the past may have opened up their heart too soon or kind of fallen too quickly for somebody that sort of didn't work out the way that they might have wanted it to. So as a defense mechanism, or even some wisdom that they had gained from that, is to be a little more measured in their approach. A sense of somebody who wants to kind of do things right, take all things into account. This can also really indicate somebody who has some financial pressures at this point in time, or even some goal or dream that they've been working toward, that maybe the intensity of the connection, the dynamic between the both of you, they could have perceived this as being sort of a distraction from these goals, or they might have told you they needed to take a step back from the connection in order to to really prioritize something else that they were working on, something else that they were seeking to achieve. They might have told you that at this stage in their life they're not ready for romance, they're not looking for something very serious, they're not looking for a relationship like this, or maybe they had told you or felt that they didn't have enough to give you, that they were stretched very thin, their resources were stretched thin, either literally financial resources, or this can also really relate to kind of psychic resources, emotional resources, somebody who just has a lot on their mind, a lot on their plate currently. We've also got the Ten of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And this talks also about that idea of burdens, a lot of responsibilities that this person has, and a big dilemma that is occurring in this kind of battle between the head and the heart within them. This is somebody who is holding back on communication, who has not really expressed the true depth and nature of what it is that they feel for you. Somebody who's kind of been carrying these feelings around, maybe even carrying these feelings around for quite some time. This could be somebody, if it's a no contact situation, where they're really thinking back on some missed opportunities, wishing that they had done things different, wishing that they had spoken some kind of truth to you when they had that opportunity, and it's lingered with them. You have remained within their heart, on their mind. They're seeing signs and reminders of you in their physical reality as well, which is kind of bringing their attention, as much as they may try to distract themselves, to that heaviness within them, that feeling of overwhelm, these feelings that have not dissipated with time but have only increased or remained constant within them. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, so more of that earth energy, and this can really speak to somebody who is considering reaching out, considering opening the lines of communication again, somebody who wants to provide you with more truth about what it is that they're feeling, the depth and nature of their regard for you, somebody who recognizes you as a very valuable presence in their life. If this is somebody that you are in contact with or in some kind of separation or silence, they've come to this realization of how much they value this relationship, how much they want to kind of work through whatever it is that has been sort of leeching their focus at this point in time, or their energy. Other things that they've been struggling with, maybe even that internal decision to come into a place of trust, that opening up their heart, expressing their feelings, taking a chance on this situation, kind of working beyond those barriers of fear and that overwhelm to really focus on the potential of something great that can manifest out of this. And so somebody who's kind of in this process of formulating those words, really leaning heavily in the direction of changing the situation out of kind of this stuck energy, this stagnancy, things that are being held back on or that are not being very clearly articulated, and moving instead into this place of transparency, where they are kind of shifting to wanting to express again the truth that's within their heart, make that very clear, make that very plain. Offer you something, even just in the sense of deepening the bond between you, deepening the connection, or again, maybe some kind of an apology that's owed, something of value, something of merit, something of worth that can really help to shift this dynamic either to the next stage that it's meant to evolve into, or to kind of set the stage toward an energy of reconciliation and rebuilding out of whatever the circumstances are that you find yourselves in currently. And we've got the Knight of Wands, so more of that fire energy, and this really talks to, again, this deep passion and this magnetism that they have for you. All these feelings that they are holding inside, that they are holding back on. There's a sense of this really building, this really reaching kind of this breaking point where to hold back and restrain themselves is no longer sustainable. This goes against the desires that they have within, to continue to focus on other things, to continue to stuff this down, to continue to try to take a very logical and practical approach. It's almost like the dynamic, the energies between you, this love that they have for you, this attraction, this feeling very compelled in your direction. It is overweighing this defense mechanism that they have. It's overwhelming and kind of overriding this approach of tact or restraint that they may have tried to take in this situation. This feels like someone who's also leaning into that energy, leaning into wanting to take a chance, to wanting to reveal more of that deeper truth, to allow themselves and allow you and allow this connection to carry you both in a new direction, to really tap into this passion and to see what can be built from that. This could be somebody who's also really worried about kind of the necessity of building a firm foundation with you, so that there's something to sustain the connection long term after, or at the point when passions could potentially cool between the both of you, when that honeymoon period kind of dissipates, and then what's left. This person might have experienced situations in the past where that approach hadn't been taken, that foundation, that groundwork had not been laid, and it kind of came at the expense of a partnership, where when difficulties or struggles, or again, sort of that passion cooled down, that initial kind of zest and attraction maybe faded, maybe even faded with time. This could be something also with Ten of Wands, somebody who maybe was in a significant long-term partnership before, some kind of a marriage where over the course of time, that relationship proved to not really have that solid foundation, or that there was not much that was built or emphasized there, and it kind of led to the rupturing of that circumstance. It led to the collapse of that because there wasn't much of a tangible and solid level to kind of maintain that situation. And so the wounds of that may have crystallized as wisdom for this person, where they're now in this situation with you, taking that careful approach, guarding their heart, trying to kind of do things practically and logically, and trying to restrain, again, this urge to move towards you, to give all of themselves to you, to unleash this passion and this desire that they have for you, this deep magnetism that they have for you. We've also got the King of Cups, so water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And this can also talk about emotional maturity that this person is really trying to demonstrate. Again, not allowing their feelings and this desire to kind of get the better of them, but trying to take a very balanced approach, a practical approach. Somebody who is kind of leaning into wanting to allow this love and this connection to develop very organically, or somebody who in any kind of distance or separation has come to this place of becoming more certain about what it is that they want, what it is that they need out of a partnership. Somebody who's really in this process of kind of exploring some emotional wounds within themselves that may have made them guarded or resistant to opening up to love with you in the past, or up to this point. And so despite any kind of a closed off energy, any kind of barrier that exists between the both of you, there is growth, there is development that is happening within. This person is deeply introspecting, looking within their heart, reflecting on the circumstances between you currently and what has happened in the past, and is starting to recognize some areas of themselves, some components of themselves. Again, maybe this aspect of wounding that has kind of kept them at bay, kept them restraining themselves, putting up this block against really diving in deep with you, expressing some kind of truth that they instead have just been holding in. And so there's this process of evolution that is taking place, a process of mastering of fears within them. This could be slow work, slow growth that is occurring, but this does seem to be something where they are at least contemplating this. They are at least looking at this with the desire of some kind of a development within themselves, so that they come to a place with you specifically, and just in terms of love in general, where they are confident enough to offer their cup of love, where they have some kind of other stability in their life that will keep them grounded should this connection or another connection or just any experience of romance, should that go sour. Somebody who's really seeking to, again, become very firm in their knowing, become very firm in their sense of self, so that it's not total collapse should things not work out properly. And again, somebody who is really interested in building a firm foundation with you, and maybe needing to take some time apart to distance themselves in order to really kind of formulate a plan with that, to figure that out, to digest that, and to really discover how to do that. This could be something very out of the ordinary for how they've approached romances of the past. And so again, a degree of needing to pull back or hold back from this in order to really process that, and to see, what they had done in love before, how that didn't work, what they would like to do differently this time around, and kind of sussing that out, evaluating what needs to take place, what needs to be expressed or built between the two of you in order to sustain this romance in a long-term sense. We've also got the Three of Pentacles, so more of that earth energy that again talks about this idea of wanting to build a very firm foundation with you, wanting to establish something with you, in the future, and even at this point in time going forth, that is a structure that can sustain and withstand any kind of storminess that may occur in this connection, any kind of burdens or troubles that you two could have individually, or even in the dynamic with one another going forward. This person really prioritizing that, holding themselves back, it taking a lot of effort to really hold that back, some kind of deeper truth that they want to express, but they're not allowing themselves to. And this could even be leaning into the energy of being overly cautious in this manner. Somebody who's trying to be a little too guarded with their heart. Somebody who's trying to kind of resist the natural flow of this connection a little too much. But in that process of kind of taking their time, really honoring their own needs and what it is that they want to create, really learning from the past, taking time to evaluate what went wrong in love's previous and what they would like to do in this situation, that ultimately this kind of distance, this period of being sort of emotionally guarded or completely kind of withdrawn, connection being at a minimum or being completely cut off between you at this point in time, there's a lot that's happening in this internal landscape within this person, a lot that they are figuring out. This is somebody who's not just squandering this time or kind of, deliberately kind of dawdling or stalling. There's a lot that's happening in that kind of internal landscape within them, where they're figuring out what they want, what they need, and what they need to be able to bring to the table moving forward in order to really capitalize on this dynamic between the both of you, to really ensure that they are doing their part, that they are working with you in a reciprocal way, in order to really foster something that has some long-term potential for the two of you. So I'm going to read the channeled love letter from this person's higher self for you now, group 1, and let's see, what do they want you to know? Your form takes shape before me. Up out of the ancient sea of memory you rise. I have known you in 1,000 bodies, across the threads of space and time. I remember us there as the music played and others danced, my hand an outstretched invitation across the perfumed sugar air. Against all odds you reached back, shy and blushing, eyes on fire. Do it again. I have searched, I have wandered. I know who you are to me now. I am reclaiming the best of myself, the villainy I have perceived within being vanquished as the hero pushes forth beyond the blockade of fear, all in the name of love. The timing will never be exactly right. We only have now, and so I am discontinuing the strides that have taken me further from you. I want to return. I want to kiss you again for the first time. Let's break apart the partition that separates us. I am calling out to you with everything in my soul. Please perceive me beyond appearances. Patiently you have waited for me across the ages. All I ask is for you to hold on to a glimmer of hope, a raindrop really. I know time is running out for us. Why is it so hard to move towards all I have ever wanted? I never wanted to be the one to make you cry. So I'm going to close this reading for you, group 1, with some initials. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got S, P, X, Q, N, H, L, B, D, J, F, K, and O. So those are your messages, group 1, and that is your channeled love letter. I hope that you enjoyed the reading and that the messages resonated with you. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. When you do that, it really helps the video to reach others who might resonate with these messages or get some kind of sense of peace or some kind of confirmation even through what came through in this letter. And it also helps my channel to grow, so I greatly appreciate that. If you would like a personal reading or a personalized channeled love letter, I offer both through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the blue lace agate along with this letter, which I will read in just a minute. I'm going to start with some tarot to get a feel of kind of the current energies between you and this person, some zodiac signs, some clues about who they are to you for group 2. Okay, so we have the Five of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So this could be somebody that maybe you had a very emotional interaction with in the recent or even the distant past, some kind of a fight, some kind of a breakup or a separation, words that were spoken, perhaps very impulsively in the heat of the moment, or without really, without much regard for the feelings of the other. And it feels that this person has really been dwelling on that. They've really been reminded of that. They've really been thinking about that. If this is a complete no contact situation, there might be some other kind of circumstances that are coming up in their life that is really reminding them of something that occurred between you in the past. This feels a little bit as if they may have potentially even kind of encountered some of that callousness from another person. A similar situation or something where a bond that they thought they shared with another person really collapsed in an unexpected way, in a very harsh way, some kind of devastation that came along with that, where there were hurt feelings on both sides. This person really then feeling at a loss, maybe something that they'd invested time in, any kind of relationship. This could be romantic, this could be a friendship, this could be a job that they were heavily investing their emotional energy in, or even dynamics with family, where kind of the separation, the disillusion, the breaking apart of that dynamic, it kind of left an emotional void within them. A feeling of loss or a feeling of betrayal, something that they've really been mourning or struggling to kind of come to terms with. And in some way this has brought their attention back, even just vibrationally, to what has happened with you in the past. This person essentially feeling what it is that they have put you through, acutely aware of and able to perceive kind of those hurt feelings that you have had in a new manner. And we've also got the Two of Pentacles, so that's Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And this can really talk about something that this person was trying to kind of maintain or juggle in their life that wasn't necessarily a proper or right fit for them. This could have been any number of different kinds of relationships that they were investing in, that they were trying to convince themselves was where they wanted to be, was the best solution for them, would lead to kind of the most stability, or something that made the most sense in a very logical way. On paper, everything looked good. But that kind of vibrationally between this person and whatever that dynamic was, whatever that circumstance, whatever even lifestyle choice that they had made, it was a very tenuous matter of keeping that balance. A lot of stress, a lot of fights, a lot of really having to contend with almost the energy of power struggles with another person, or even a struggle within themselves to convince themselves that a choice that they had made to move away from something, to move away from you, to move away from this connection in another direction, that this is what made them happy, this is what they wanted. Somebody who's also then reflecting upon that choice that was made at a certain point in time, not to embark upon this adventure in love with you, but again, maybe choose the safer option, the more familiar option. Maybe that was even just, remaining single and not taking a chance on love, not wanting to enter into a committed relationship, or choosing, the path of money over the path of love, for example, choosing work over investing more in this connection. Maybe something about the dynamic between the both of you was a little bit unconventional. It was an invitation to embark upon new kinds of experiences, deviate from a road that they'd been heading down, and they chose the more practical option, something that was acceptable, something that was known to them, was approved of by friends and family, and kind of the sense of loss that has ensued with that. Even as they are continuing to walk this path, their heart still very much dwells on that decision point, that decision to almost kick over these cups of love, whatever had been built between you, whatever was offered, to turn their back on this dynamic, this Two of Cups that shows up here, still standing on this card. A sense of this person feeling very energetically bonded to you, even while in their kind of practical and apparent reality, that there's not much left to go on. There's not much left standing or intact in this situation, still feeling and recognizing that dynamic between the both of you, which, again, is kind of leading to this space of regret, a feeling of having made the wrong choice. Got the Knight of Wands, so that's fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, and this can really talk about this deep and abiding love and passion that they have for you, that despite whatever it is that they had chosen to prioritize or focus on, whatever is kind of in their life right now, this sort of tightrope walk that they are trying to do, between staying very present, very in the moment, very involved with whatever is in their material world, struggling not to kind of lean into that heart space, not to lean into that urge to course correct and kind of move back in your direction. That despite all of that, despite all of those efforts, again, the feelings that they have for you are very intense. It's driving them forward. It's driving them to change course in some direction. It's really pulling their attention, even just energetically, to, again, this concept of maybe not having chosen the best path for themselves. And there being things to learn through that, something to be gained through that experience, it being kind of that point of contrast that can then help them to more deeply appreciate what they have with you or had with you, so that if the choice then is made at a future point in time to take steps to move back in your direction, that this is a choice that is made from an educated place, somebody who has a thorough understanding, not just in theory but in practice, of what resonates with them in terms of this situation with you versus whatever else they've chosen to invest in that just isn't bringing that same kind of fanning of the flame within them. It's not bringing that same degree of satisfaction on a very visceral kind of soul level to them. We've got the King of Wands, so again, more fire energy there, and this really speaks to somebody who's trying to kind of control their emotions, exercising restraint, somebody who wants to reach out, somebody who wants to move back in your direction, or if this is somebody who's even still in your life, and it might be the energy of they're giving you very little to go on. They're giving you very little evidence of their feelings, maybe kind of a lot of missed opportunities with that Five of Cups, where, you know, the momentum's building, you're feeling that intensity, and then it's kind of a, this person just sort of hesitates. They kind of wobble. They don't take that opportunity to speak their truth, to express to you how they truly feel, what you truly mean to them, exercising a lot of restraint on their part, holding back, which may be very tangibly felt. And could be leading to kind of this element of frustration or loss or sorrow that you are experiencing with them. And again, if this is somebody who you are in complete no contact with, complete separation, something has happened, something has kind of disrupted the harmony or what you two had built or were building toward or had the potential to build toward together, that through all of this, through whatever they're trying to focus on, however they're trying to maintain their reality, maintain their composure, some kind of an appearance or facade that they may also be putting on as well, some kind of a role that they have stepped into and are kind of moving along with, trying to really present that as the right choice, as a place of contentment, that they're happy where they are, that beneath all of that is this kind of deep and almost overwhelming urge that they have to, again, move back in your direction, a passion that they have for you that has not died, it has not diminished, it remains very strong and very steady within them, but for whatever reason, maybe even based on the nature of other circumstances that they have, they're feeling the time is just not right, or they're not at a place within themselves of wanting to or being able to make some kind of substantial move to change these circumstances, but there is a lot of desire there. And we've got the Nine of Pentacles, so more of that earth energy. And this can really talk about somebody who maybe kind of refused your cup of love or moved away from this connection in the interest of, remaining single, focusing on career, that being this kind of balance that they're trying to maintain, some other goal or priority that they had set that had really taken precedence. It had been something that might have been very fulfilling, this idea of kind of accolades and accomplishments that they had been striving toward. Maybe they'd reached that pinnacle of success, that mountaintop. But there's a sense of, as satisfying as that is, as much as they may feel that sense of accomplishment and that, their hard work is paid off, there is kind of this itch within them, this passion or this curiosity, this sense of longing about, how things might have turned out differently. What would have happened if they had invited you on this journey with them? If they had tried to make room within their heart and within their life to accommodate this connection more, a sense of questioning that might have be going on as well about, had they kind of just thrown in the towel on this situation prematurely, had they not, maybe made the choice to invest in this connection, and has this come that it's some sort of some expense to them in terms of their stability in other ways in the future, seeing you as well with this from this energy now that other things have really played out in their life as somebody who is very independent in their own right, or you've become very independent. You've experienced some kind of glow up, perhaps, that this person kind of after picking up the pieces of whatever had kind of fallen apart, this person is either witnessing directly, maybe they're seeing it on social media, seeing you out and about, hearing about this from others, or at least is able to energetically pick up on and perceive that is really starting to create some of this energy of wobble, this acute energy of having made a wrong choice, misjudged the connection, a feeling of loss as they're not able to then be in a more concrete manner by your side, kind of tasting the fruits of these glories with you. A sense of recognizing now that in order to come back into your life, there's things that need to change and develop within them. More of a sense of security within themselves. It could be material factors. This could be something of a financial nature that they need to continue to work on, or they need to reach more success at before they have something to offer you, or to be kind of an adequate match for you, so they can bring something of a quality to the table for what you have to offer. But a lot of this feels like somebody who's then acutely aware of their own sense of self, their own sense of self-worth, how they may have really been projecting that and applying that to, again, this idea of accolades and accomplishments, really kind of gauging their own personal value by what they have, what they've achieved, what they can gain, what they possess. And this really coming at the expense of kind of that emotional treasury, that love within, that wealth that has no price tag attached attached to it, and this becoming acutely aware, or coming into this person's awareness very acutely at this point in time of again, sort of prioritizing on and maybe putting their focus on things that, while they pay in dividends to a certain extent, that this is a missing out on kind of this intangible wealth. And we also have the Two of Swords, so air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, and this can really talk about a connection where communication is totally blocked. You're at a distance from this person. They've been very sort of resistant to communicate. If this is somebody even that is in your life, there's a guardedness, there's a hesitation, there's a restraint that's going on. They're not speaking the truth of what is in their heart. They're being very measured and guarded with what they say to you. Somebody could also be kind of trapped in their head at this point in time about what to do in this circumstance, how to really accommodate and make room and move forward with these other kind of goals and ideas that they have for themselves, something that they've built, something they've created in their life or that they're working toward, and how to really make space or how to make that kind of fit with this urge, with this desire, with this drive to move towards you in a more definite manner, or to in some way try to maybe pick up the pieces, clean up some of that emotional spillage that could have happened in the past through their encounters with you, through whatever was said or whatever sort of inaction wasn't taken previously. So somebody who with both of these twos here is really in the process of maybe balancing out kind of some fears that they have about love, fears that they have about opening up more, expressing more to you, maybe even coming back with an apology, fears of rejection, fears of some other things in their life that may need to kind of close out or be moved away from in order to make room for this love. And so if you don't see a whole lot of movement happening, not a whole lot is being demonstrated in a 3D sense, there's a lot internally that is happening. A lot of wheels are turning. A lot of considerations are being made within this person about where they are now, where they would like to be, and in some way how the situation with you can be woven into that plan. So I'm going to read the channeled love letter from your person now, group 2, and let's see what do they want you to know from their higher self. I perceive you as a column of light. You mirror to me my own divine inheritance. I struggle to maintain the heights you radiate effortlessly. I long to watch the play of sunlight in your eyes, to stare deeply into the passageways your irises reveal, and to recognize my own soul smiling back at me in perfect measure. How far we have come in this rapture together, beloved. How far we still have to go. Lean in close. We will carry each other from here on out. I know there are words I owe you, and that to hear these sentiments uttered with certainty is all you have ever needed from me. Behind what I keep from you is a well of love so fierce. It paces and looks and seeks to burst forth from out of my chest if it must. You are music, and you are poetry, and you are the fascination I will never become tired of experiencing. The simple ways in which you marvel at the world, the little things you take notice of and gush about, have equipped me to take a wider and more precise view of everything I had come to know and had taken for granted. I want to be there beside you as you are kissed by sublime moments. I want to help you remember what a gift this life and our meeting and everything in between truly is. Thank you, beauty, for loving me just as I am. So I'm going to close this reading with some initials, and this can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person. It can spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got Q, E, N, U, W, O, F, D, M, G, K, T, S, I, and L. So those are your messages, and that is your channeled love letter group 2. I hope that the messages resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. When you do that, it helps this video to reach others who might benefit from hearing these messages, might resonate with them, might get some kind of peace or some kind of confirmation even from what's in this letter. And it also helps my channel to grow, so I deeply appreciate that. If you would like a personal reading or a personalized channeled love letter, I offer both through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. I chose the pink opal along with this letter, which I will read in a minute. I'm going to start with some tarot to get a feel of the current energies between you and this person, some zodiac signs, kind of see what's going on in this connection, some clues about who they are for Group 3. Okay, so we have Justice, which is Libra energy. So this can be somebody who maybe is owing you some kind of an apology, some kind of an explanation. Somebody who's really reflecting on something that happened in this connection or a place that you currently stand with one another. And they're if this is someone you're still in contact with, and they're recognizing on their part that there's something that is owed here. Almost this energy of the ball is in their court to make some kind of a declaration, to speak some kind of truth to you, which provides kind of an explanation. It provides some kind of a balance. It's kind of on their shoulders at this point in time to give something more to this connection, that you may have really kind of made your feelings and your intentions, even a sense of energetic openness known to this person. And they're very much aware that in order to progress in this situation, in order to really help to kind of foster and nurture this love and what you have or what you're building together, that it's going to require effort on their part. It's going to require some kind of truth, some kind of vulnerability. There's a sense of certainty that this person is also kind of at the point of really stepping into, of recognizing how the two of you really balance each other out, how this connection is a source of stability for them, maybe even in some unconventional ways. There could be a lot of things about the two of you that from kind of the outside, for all intents and purposes, are very different. You could be walking very different paths, have very different lifestyles, even different kind of ways of communicating with one another. And yet in these very subtle kind of aspects, there's a coherence there, there's a harmony there. It's a sense of feeling very much that the two of you, when this person is in your presence or communicating with you, or even reflecting on time spent, that they feel a sense of peace. They feel a sense of really being understood. They feel a sense of really being seen and honored and recognized. That they are kind of understanding very acutely how the dynamic between the both of you, what you really bring to the table, the ways in which you honor who this person is as an individual. This could be very different from kind of their typical way of going about relationships and romance, even in friendships, even in other aspects of their life, even in family, where they may feel the need to kind of hold parts of themselves back, or a need to kind of overgive, overcompensate, in order to create that balance for some kind of a deficiency or kind of a lack of reciprocity. This could be somebody who's used to kind of overgiving in dynamics, but in this situation, they're understanding that there is a lot of equality in this situation. They're really kind of receiving back what they have given, and this open invitation to kind of step further into that. That might be very sort of unusual for this person in terms of other dynamics. A sense here of really, again, their kind of emotional well-being, their mental well-being, their spiritual well-being, really being honored, being acknowledged, and being fulfilled through this connection. And so it's bringing them to this greater sort of perspective about the significance of this. And again, something they may need to kind of give or project or provide at this point forward, going forward, in order to move the connection to the next level in some way, or to kind of do their part to continue to participate in and kind of nurture and help that balance grow. And we've got the Page of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So this person could definitely be daydreaming about you, watching you from a distance, watching you on social media, thinking about you a lot. If this is a period of kind of separation, or again, some kind of impasse that you may find yourselves at, where you kind of reached a plateau and kind of the ball's in their court to do something, they're really looking at this. They're really reflecting upon this, about all these kind of subtle and yet important ways in which this connection just feels right. This feels like the sense of what they have been looking for, what they have been waiting for, what they have been searching for in a partnership. Again, the ways in which the two of you really balance each other out, and somebody who could be in this process of really thinking about how to take things to the next level, how to really move this forward, how to speak that truth, what to say, perhaps feeling a little uncertain about that. Not sure if the time is right, not wanting to upset any balance that you have currently between you by maybe saying too much, going too deep, being too overwhelming and intense, or even if it comes to, as a matter of being very raw and vulnerable about some fears that could have been holding them back. There's a sense of not wanting to be very measured with their words, so that you're not kind of taking that personally, or kind of internalizing that as, you know, this person instead saying that it won't work, when instead they're just expressing that they kind of need help navigating through these things. They need some time to kind of move through that even expressing these things, bringing that out into the open, is that process of creating that balance and kind of shifting out of that energy of fear more in the direction of love and trust. And this could, again, be, if this is somebody who's at a total distance from you, there's no communication, there's separation. They're thinking about that, some kind of an apology that is owed, some kind of an explanation that is owed, something that they need to do or provide or say in order to kind of right the energies in this situation. Maybe a little bit of fear with that as well, about not sure how you're going to receive them, not certain if what they have to say will be sufficient to really kind of balance the scales between you. And we've got Judgment, which is Scorpio energy. So some kind of a wake-up call that has happened for this person, some kind of an epiphany or an awareness, something they had taken for granted about you and about this situation that has been shown to them, that is being made known to them, maybe through dreams, visions, signs, or synchronicities, or just this kind of inner knowing, something that's really clicked for this person. If this is somebody that you are still in contact with, in some degree of contact with, you still have a relationship of some capacity with them, something about a recent interaction or something about the ways in which they've been thinking about kind of the duration of the connection, adding up all these pieces of what has occurred between you, some kind of great awareness has come to them that this is the connection that balances them. This is the person that they've been looking for. This is the place where they feel safe to be seen, to be known, and to be understood. This is the place where kind of all the dead ends and all the ways in which they've had to contort and kind of dim themselves down or overgive in order to be the only one sustaining a connection. This is kind of what all of that, those kind of bumps and bruises, this was what this was leading to. There's a sense of almost resurrection here, a desire to again come in with some kind of an apology, to kind of reinstigate the connection or move things forward in a new direction. If this is somebody you are in no contact with, if this is someone who's still in your life, then they're starting to really see you in this connection as a second chance, a third chance, a whatever number chance at experiencing love again. Somebody who might have really kind of just closed themselves off to that idea, had resigned themselves to whatever their experiences or disappointments were in love up to this point, that is just kind of the end of the story, maybe choosing to focus on other things or focus on their own healing and kind of restoration from that experience. But something in this dynamic has really awakened within them this possibility, this hope that maybe love will work out, or it'll work out this time, or that something can really develop or be built from this circumstances between you, or it can be resurrected out of any kind of an energy of an ending that might have taken place. And we also have the Empress, which is Libra and Taurus. So this can really talk about, again, this desire to nurture this, to foster this, understanding that they need to provide something more. They need to participate more, or are invited rather to do that. This doesn't feel like the energy of obligation, but it's more the invitation. A feeling very much of being safe in your presence, safe to be seen, safe to be known, feeling very nurtured by this connection in a variety of ways that might have really been kind of fleeting or evasive for them in other love connections in the past or in other areas of their life. That this situation, the dynamic between you, even as they are reflecting about what you shared together at one point in time, if the communication's been cut off and it's kind of a quiet or a closed off period in your connection, in your situation, this person is really reflecting upon that. Kind of this energy of wish fulfillment, this energy of a space that the two of you had cultivated, or that potential that existed to really blossom into something that is deeply fulfilling and deeply nourishing to the both of you through this dynamic. With all three of these major arcana cards coming out here, this person is really recognizing you as a very significant presence in their life, that this is a very significant mile marker, or has the potential to be that in terms of their understanding and experience of love. And there's a desire to feed more into this, to give more into this than they had previously or have up to this point. And we've also got the Lovers, so that is Gemini energy, and this can talk about counterparts. So this person recognizing you as a twin soul, as a soulmate, a kindred spirit, a twin flame, whatever it is that you resonate with. If this kind of language, this understanding is part of this person's lexicon, then they are really identifying that with you. They're putting these pieces together. They're recognizing how kind of those differences between the two of you, it is that perfect balance. It is that recipe for success. This is somebody who feels very fulfilled by this connection in a myriad of ways. Somebody who feels very physically fulfilled, very physically attracted to you emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. at the soul level, they feel very bonded to you. They feel very compatible with you. There's this soul knowing that exists. Something about this connection as well with these two angels here. This very divinely orchestrated connection. Maybe a lot of circumstances of serendipity or synchronicities that have occurred, or even synchronicities that are coming in that's helping to really expand their awareness of who you are to them, and kind of the importance of this connection that might have been lost to them before. It could have been something that they had kind of not really looked at or had chosen to ignore, or just were in the space of needing more time to process that. But there's a certainty that has come here. Again, any kind of distance or separation, they're recognizing you as that counterpart, as that component, as kind of that wholeness, and yet that piece of themself that helps to reveal and explain kind of that greater wholeness within them. With you, they make sense somehow, in some way, in a deeper capacity than they do alone, or that they have independently. This desire to, again, kind of this energy of reconciliation, reunion, moving into deeper kind of companionship with one another, moving into kind of a deeper aspect, unfolding and opening up to deeper potential within this situation. And we also have the star, which is Aquarius energy. So this is really talking about hope that they have, that whatever your circumstances are at this point in time, if it's a complete no contact situation, there's hope that you two can resurrect this, that you can move beyond this point. This can also really talk about somebody who is very hopeful for the future of this connection. They feel very excited about this. Now that they are opening up to this revelation, this understanding, they are embracing this idea of compatibility, this energy of the yin to each other's yang, and vice versa. That it's filling them with a sense of, again, maybe hope that their experiences in love up to this point is not the end of the story. Hope that something really beautiful can kind of germinate or continue to grow, or can be sort of rebirthed out of the circumstances that you find yourselves in. Hope for the future of the direction of where this connection is headed. And a sense of almost explanation, or even a horizon that this person is moving towards in a certain way, something that has really become known to them about kind of just what you mean, how crucial, how important this connection is, with 5 major arcana cards out here in this section for you, group 3. It's definitely, this is a very profound connection. This person is really starting to recognize the gravity of that, the ramifications of that, the significance of having intersected with you at this particular time in their life. Or if this is something where, again, it's a no contact situation, this circumstance, this time and space in their own individual life, maybe through other kind of things that are coming in, other things that have fallen away, or just some kind of development or maturation that has happened within this person, where they're starting to deeply appreciate who you are, what this connection means, what you two have shared in the past. And it's creating this desire to move out of any kind of energy of defeat or loss or imbalance in the direction of resurrection, of restoration, in the direction of creating some kind of a new dawn out of this situation, out of what might have been a period of uncertainty between the both of you, or any kind of an energy of endings, or some kind of a cycle that had come to a completion. That there's hope here of kind of building that, building a new experience, kind of reaching this higher level love they may have kind of always wanted, but had, for a variety of reasons, just kind of dismissed as being fantasy, or not something that would be in the reality, not something that was going to be part of their destiny, or kind of their experience in this lifetime. But they're seeing you, and they're recognizing you in this connection, and cherishing this from a new vantage point. And with that comes this desire to, again, invest more fully, or to invest once again in this dynamic with you in a more practical, tangible, and long-term manner. So I'm going to read the channeled love letter from your person now, group 3, and see what do they want you to know from their higher self. There's change coming. I see the signs all around me. I am acutely aware of and am drawn to notice things that had slipped past my attention before. In truth, I didn't want to look. I have known who you are to me all along. When I first laid eyes on you, a silent presence stirred to life and uttered with a voice of dust and certainty, only to be had by a thing of timeless wisdom. That's the one. This is who you have been waiting for. I was so stunned as the walls of certainty collapsed and the ground I had known evaporated, and there was only you. I ran. I denied you my heart, and for that I have been experiencing quite viscerally the untruth of all I have sought to introduce to a place within me which has only ever been occupied by you. Your essence speaks to me in an ancient tongue of long-forgotten words and inferred meaning. I am struggling to relinquish my grasp on uncertainty, which had been so familiar to me throughout the years, and which I am no longer in need of. Our stars are aligning, and I know there will come a time when the pathway from where we are to where we have always meant to be together will be revealed. A moonlight aperture that speaks privately only through us. These are delicate matters, and I am trying my best to be bold. Thank you for your unflinching light in the world to guide me home. So I'm going to close this reading for you, group 3, with some initials. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Got V, M, Q, I, C, U, E, S, N, A, O, R, Y, T, G, Z, and F. So those are your messages, and that is your channeled love letter, group 3. I hope the messages resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. When you do that, it helps the video to reach others who might resonate with these messages, or who might gain some kind of peace or confirmation or clarity from this letter. And it also helps my channel to grow, so I deeply appreciate that. If you would like a personal reading or a personalized channeled love letter, I offer both through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking that out as well. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.